Christine Browning, Principal Broker with HomeSmart Central Realty, and thank you for joining me today on my real estate blog. Joining me is Sherry from Western Title. She is a title expert for Western Title, who's my preferred escrow company that I use on all my transactions. We are going to be doing a class coming up on March 14th about the differences between judicial and non-judicial foreclosure. This has been a really hot topic that's really started about last summer when non-judicial foreclosure seemed to completely stop, and all of a sudden judicial foreclosure started happening, and I was getting calls from lots of clients and folks in the community who were getting served hundreds of pages and they didn't know what it meant or what it was, as well as other professionals in the industry asking, what is this, what's the difference, and how is this impacting our real estate market? So could you tell us, Sherry, a little bit about the difference between non-judicial and judicial? And non-judicial has been the type of foreclosure that we've seen for years now as people default on their home mortgages.
Correct. Oregon is a non-judicial state, and so that's an out-of-court process. To process a foreclosure generally takes about 120 days plus to complete a non-judicial process. Judicial process is now what we're seeing an increase of, and that is a in-court process that's taking approximately 280 days or more.
Wow, so quite a bit longer to go through a judicial process. And what does it mean that it's in the court system? Does that mean it's like a lawsuit that goes in front of a judge?
Yes, exactly. So your non-judicial foreclosure, to start a foreclosure process, you record what's called a notice of default. For an in-court process, the judicial process, there is actually a case file for foreclosure that gets filed, and then they record what's called a notice of lis pendens.
Okay.
So that's really the differences. Is one is through an attorney and through the court process. The other is handled by a trustee, and you're not going through the court process at all.
Well, and what I'm hearing when folks are getting served this judicial foreclosure paperwork in the mail, when they go to attorneys are suggesting that they have legal representation through the process to make sure that their rights are met and that they're not going to get sued on this note. It seems like it's kind of like a messy situation compared to in the past where people just got their foreclosure notice, they waited for it to go on the courthouse steps, and then they were just done.
Yes, I think it's a little bit more, it's a little harder to understand for the public because most of the stuff that takes place through a non-judicial foreclosure is recorded, and you can actually access the county website and look at that information, and it pretty much tells you about the process. With judicial foreclosure, you're going through the courts. That information is available if you go to the courthouse and you pull that information, and it's sometimes hard to understand as well.
Oh yeah.
So having an attorney help you through it, someone that knows the process in and out, is probably a really good, it's a good thing to have.
Well, I recommend the first place that you start if you have questions on this new process that most homeowners who are in default are facing. Start with coming to our class where Sherry will give a more detailed presentation, probably about an hour long, talking about the entire judicial foreclosure process, the court dates, everything that you can expect if you were to end up in that situation, or if you have any friends or family that, you know, maybe thought their home was going to foreclose, the foreclosure never happened, and now they're being served all this paperwork and trying to sort through it and figure out what the best next step is. So we're having this class on March 14th at 2 p.m. I'll make sure to include all the information on the blog so that you can RSVP. The space is limited, so if you do have an interest or you want to bring any guests, please make sure to correspond with us. And I'll also go ahead and put down Sherry's information at Western Title. If you are in a judicial foreclosure process and you are trying to understand the paperwork, you can also give her a call and schedule an appointment at Western Title. They're just wonderful over there and would be happy to help. So, looking forward to the class. Thank you so much for joining me with the blog today. And if you or anybody you know is looking to buy or sell real estate in Central Oregon, would love your business. Thanks and have a great day.